We could have gone to the legacy room, but I like to be able to reach out and touch. Councilmember Twila Carter, thank you for being here. You have a lot of experience as president, chair of the Astro Foundation, and you're making it outstanding. You're bringing your experience to council, and I appreciate that. Good morning. First, I want to point out with me today is why Houston is a great city. I could go through our guests here today, our partners, and the organizations that they represent, their personal professionals, their families. This is why we're great, because the coalition that is represented here today, along with our people, allow us to be a great city. We have challenges, but Houston meets its challenge. And while I've been going about the last several months addressing public safety, infrastructure, a variety of issues, homelessness, these individuals have been making a difference in their given venue and organizations. They quietly go about making this a great city. That's why I'm excited and proud to be the mayor. I called you together today because it's time to share with the public, our region, how excited we are about the World Cup and how we want to get prepared for the World Cup, and not only that, maintain the organizations, the facilities that are represented here today. Never, even in my 50 years in the legislature, have I seen such a coalition together with one focus this morning is to make certain that Houston has the most successful World Cup possible. We're going to be on national stage. We've pulled off other great events in recent years, but now this coalition's single focus is preparing for the World Cup. It involves the Sports Authority, certainly. A little history, if you'll allow me. The toughest thing I've done in 50 years in the legislature was create the Sports Authority. In 1998, I was the senior senator from Houston. We had lost the Oilers. The Astros were being recruited for Virginia. They couldn't continue to be a competitive team in the Dome. So the city of Houston, Bob Lanier, and the county asked me to carry legislation creating a sports authority with a revenue stream that would build, finance, and maintain the stadiums. I had that vision. It was very controversial. Dan Patrick had a talk show. Paul Bentoncourt was the district clerk. They kept suggesting that I was going to use taxpayer money, property taxes. It was even an issue in '98, quite frankly, council member. So Bob Lanier and Eccles asked me to sponsor it. There had been a study by Pete Conway with Goldman Sachs and Ben Love, who was an icon in Houston banking and civic community. After their study, the fix was on to put the baseball field back out at the Dome. Had it been there already for almost 20 years. No economic development. You go to the ball game at the Dome, you leave. And I said I would not sponsor it unless it was part of economic development east of Main Street. And I give this story because, quite frankly, the press keeps getting younger and younger. You need to know the history of the Sports Authority. It was a tough battle. We had lost the HISD bond issue the year before the session. So the leadership asked me to do that. I knew the value. I knew we'd create a revenue stream made with user fees, hotel occupancy tax, car rental, naming rights, license seats. I could go on and on. Not a penny of Houstonians' ad valorem taxes went into the stadium. I had the vision now, and we have a vision today. The Sports Authority sole role, as I sold it on the Senate floor, was to finance, build, and maintain sports venues that would attract visitors and large events to Houston. That is significant because in recent months, the different organizations, franchise, you name all the stakeholders that you believe that go about putting on major events and running their franchises have come to me individually and collectively saying we have to do something about the Sports Authority. They are away from their core mission. Each of the stadiums in town are great facilities, but they need major improvement if we're going to continue to attract major events. So, as I've said, while I go about trying to improve Houston's quality of life, I've been asked me, the owner of the Dynamo was in my office yesterday saying, we need help. The Sports Authority's not collaborating with us. The World Cup teams want to use our stadium as a practice facility. We can't get the communication going with the Sports Authority in the right direction. So I want to thank the Sports Authority administrators for their public service, but we come together today to say we can do better. We must do better. We have to get ready. All hands on deck for the World Cup. And in the meantime, we will address the concerns of these individual franchises, not to mention the rodeo. Rodeo's been talking to me for months. We have to do better with our facilities. They're outdated, outgrown. We're having difficulty dealing with the Sports Authority and open lines of communication. So let me emphasize, we've all come together. Individually, we have our franchises, stadiums, and organizations to run, but Mayor, bring us together and let's change the direction of the Sports Authority to where they finance, build, and maintain the sports venues and our other entertainment venues. So I'm excited that we're going to be successful. Not only are the franchises and organizations here, I've got Homeland Security Director here. We've got to get our homeless challenges, improve public safety to where when people leave here that they want to come back. So the most exciting thing is talking about partnerships. You know, it is named the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. There hasn't been enough collaboration with the city and the county. The county government wants to see a new direction to maintain our facilities. And I am so excited to have Commissioner Garcia with us today. We will have other respective organizations mention it. We've got board members here that support this move. We want the Sports Authority single focus on getting ready for the World Cup. We are on international stage. We want to show our people and our energy, our diversity, and how great a city we are. But we can only do that if we get the Sports Authority single focus on working with these organizations and FIFA. You know, I could go on and on. I'm not trying to point the blame to anyone. I'm just saying we have an opportunity to right the ship. And at this time, I will yield to Commissioner Garcia. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mayor. And Mayor, if you allow me, I just want to take a point of personal privilege. Last night, yesterday, we had a tough event in my precinct related to a Pemex chemical leak. I want to first begin by thanking the first responders that responded to that event, the Sheriff's Office, the Harris County Fire Marshal, Pollution Control, and many others. Regrettably, that event caused the loss of life of 2 individuals and the hospitalization of several. And so if anybody has any questions regarding that, I'll be happy to speak to you a little later. But I do want to send my respect and appreciation to Mayor Mouton and the city of Deer Park and their respective first responders, the police department, fire department, for their response to this event. We're always challenged in that industry area. So I just want to take the opportunity to say condolences to the families of those 2 individuals and condolences to their work families as well. Thank you. To the point of the exciting news that we have today, look, it's absolutely imperative that we have new leadership at the Sports Authority. The current CEO has been within the position for almost 20 years. And so it's time for some fresh voices at this very important time. And Mayor, as you were talking about the history of your legislation, I remember that because I was working with Mayor Lanier in the Mayor's Anti-Gang Office at that time, and I remember the many conversations related to this. So thank you for your long-time leadership in that regard. So I appreciate the outgoing CEO for her service, but with the World Cup approaching and the city and the county, I'd like to say the county and the city, soon to be on a global stage, there has never been a more critical time for us collectively to get it right, as the mayor has pointed out to. We live in a major league metropolis. We've shown the nation that this is a destination that is perfect for prime time events. Soon, we will be on the world stage, and so we need a fresh perspective on hosting these global events. So let's put, obviously, our best foot forward has got to be the priority of the day. People from across the globe come here from conferences and buzz through town for business. The World Cup is our opportunity to further enhance the worldwide view of Houston and Harris County as a destination. The Super Bowl, college football game playoffs, the Final Four, the World Series, and we can go on, the soccer championships, thanks to the Houston Dynamo. Those events attract millions of viewers. The World Cup, though, measures their audience in the billions. That's a lot of new potential visitors, residents, and business leaders that could come to Houston-Harris County. So we must get it right, and that's why I support Mayor Whitmire in this new direction for the Sports Authority. Mayor, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for helping to bring us all together.
Thank you, Commissioner. I also don't want to not mention our sponsors for the World Cup. The corporate community individually have come to my office, Chevron, NRG, among others, said you have to do something. Obviously, I'm trying to emphasize this grew from a concern of the franchises that their stadiums were not being maintained adequately. Been a concern for several years. So while I was working in my office, John Arnold, who chaired the bid committee, successful businessman, came to my office and said, we have to do something. We're behind other cities. We're not prepared. There's no transparency. Sports Authority Foundation has been developed that we don't have access to the records, the finances, just really sounding an alarm. I respect John Arnold, and I was very pleased when he accepted a position on the Sports Authority Board. A great addition, and I look forward to his leadership. He couldn't be here today due to commitments, but what addition that will be to the board. And certainly, there's a lot of people take credit for the World Cup coming here. The credit goes to our great people, our city, its history. But John, certainly as an individual, gets a lot of credit for traveling the world, using his resources to attract the World Cup here. So, to show the collaboration and to show you the depth of the concern and what's at stake is, Ryan Walsh, would you come forward and speak about your major NRG facilities and the challenge and what you face on a regular basis for lack of cooperation and collaboration?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mayor and Commissioner. Thank you for your leadership on this issue. It's certainly one that affects many of us in some way. We have some of the best sports and entertainment facilities in the country that have and will host some of the largest events in the world. These venues are part of our community. They're in our darkest hours after a hurricane or a disaster, and our brightest, like the Super Bowl, the rodeo, and the upcoming World Cup in 2026. It's critical for the continued success of these events and in support of our community that we have worked together and that our venues are the best in class. I'm so excited that I get to work with the best in class every day, from our board at the Sports Corporation, our exceptional tenants and partners represented here today by Dr. Chris Bowman with the rodeo and Greg Grissom with the Houston Texans, our future Super Bowl champs, by the way. Our county partners, Commissioner's Court, the County Administrator's Office and the County Attorney's Office, and of course, Mayor, our city partners, your staff, and the Houston Police and the Houston Fire Department. We also have great stakeholders on the state level like Nim Kidd with TDEM, who's been a great resource for NRG Park and our facilities, as well as Commissioner Buckingham with the GLO. Of course, our other venues and partners like the Rockets, the Astros, the Dynamo and Dash. As we start to reimagine and plan for the future of NRG Park, we have to have absolute collaboration. We have to have absolute transparency, and it has to be a proactive view towards the future. It's no secret that we have a lot to do at NRG Park. I think that's been well talked about. But the only way we can make those visions a reality is if we're all at the table tackling the challenges that face us collectively. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner. I'm excited to turn the page for the next generation of great events and in our world-class venues and the benefits that the residents of Harris County and Houston will see. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the job that you perform. And certainly the NRG complex, the exhibit hall, the rodeo arena, all has to be addressed. Can you imagine if we allowed rodeo facilities to not maintain their excellence? And we have real maintenance challenges there, not to mention NRG Stadium. And we're actually hearing from the NFL, the NBA, other affiliated organizations that have communicated through their teams their concerns. So we're addressing that. Now, Houston puts on great events. I was at the Municipal League State Convention yesterday, spoke to 3,000 council members and mayors from our largest to a community of 60 people. So to pull that off, we need a convention bureau that knows that they're welcome to Houston. So Michael Heckman, would you tell us the vital, the role that Houston First plays in our success?
Happy to do it. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Commissioner, for being here. Our role at Houston First is to sell, market, and promote the region of Houston all over the country and all over the world. Our folks wake up every day with a passion to be able to do that. But we don't do it alone. We do it with our partners around the community, from hotels to restaurants to the sports teams to the corporate community to many others that ultimately help us sell the brand for what is Houston. Houston has a great reputation, and it has been built over many years for a place where you can hold events and get things done, because we have a get-it-done community spirit here. Certainly under Mayor Whitmire's leadership, that has been taken to the next level. He likes to roll up his sleeves, take no excuses, and to be able to get things done. I have been in this market for 22 years. At that time in 2002, we were preparing for our first Super Bowl in the modern era in 2004. The predecessor organization to Houston First Corporation was the Greater Houston Convention and Visitors Bureau. And so there is a long history of collaboration in this market, from being able to score NBA All-Star games, Major League Baseball All-Star games, the work that the Texans have done to bring international soccer matches here one after the other. And we have been proud to be able to work alongside of them over a long period of time. And then again with the Super Bowl that we had, Super Bowl 51 in 2017. I say the Houston region because that is important. We are a city-created organization, but we market everything from here to the Woodlands to Galveston to past Katy. Our job is to get people here to the Houston metro region. That doesn't matter if it's in the county, out of the county, in the city limits, whatever that may be. We have a continued effort to be able to win these big events, because ultimately we put a great business case forward and then we execute the heck out of it while we're here. Look no further than last year with the Republican National Committee awarding us the RNC in 2028. So from Houston First, we stand ready to support the direction and the initiatives from the mayor to Commissioner Garcia to the county, to make this the best World Cup in its history. We have a great team that does their job really, really well. We stand prepared, ready to collaborate and to work with everyone here and a lot of people that aren't here to ultimately be able to make that happen. And we'll be ready to do whatever it takes, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And good examples of these franchises and organizations quietly going about making a difference is the large soccer ball game at 4:30 Sunday afternoon. We need to do it. It will be packed, and I normally try to stay off the venues. Tip O'Neill, in his book, All Politics is Local, says, do not throw out the first pitch. Do not flip a coin. So I've taken an exception to that advice on Sunday afternoon, and we'll flip the coin. I'm not sure anybody in that stadium is going to want to see me, but because their mind's on soccer. Tip O'Neill goes further and says, first of all, they didn't come there to see a politician. They've been drinking. So don't expose you to that. And I've never done that until the exception, because this is going to be such a fantastic. Astros bringing the World Baseball Classic here in 26. So I could go on and on. The success we're having among our organizations and citizens. I have a lot of people that know so much about events and organizations here. Let me quickly wrap this up by, I know some board members would like to speak. Linda Morales, a longtime friend, would like to express where we're headed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Linda Morales, and I'm a board director of the Sports Authority. Certainly want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the mayor, the city council, Harris County Commissioner Garcia, and others as well. Your trust and commitment to ensuring that our city remain a leader in progress and collaboration are greatly appreciated. With your support, we'll continue to prioritize transparency, growth, and innovation in every project and initiative. It is through such participations and partnerships that we can ensure a brighter future for Houston and its surrounding areas. And as we look forward to hosting the World Cup, I'm excited about the opportunity that this brings, a global event to our great city. Houston's diversity, its resilience, its passion for excellence make it an ideal destination for such a prestigious event. Together with the dedication of our board, I'm confident that we'll showcase Houston on the world stage, creating lasting memories and fostering economic and cultural growth for years to come. Again, thank you for your leadership and commitment to making this vision a reality.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
To interject here, my making this such a priority, I've appointed Chris Newport, my chief of staff, to be my eyes and ears, work with this fine team going forward. Chris made a name for himself in 2017, successfully carrying out on budget, on time, the 2017 Super Bowl. So I'm excited about the opportunity to bring him and his vision to the table. Marty Kendrick, a valuable board member of the Sports Authority, I'd like to recognize.
Sure, thank you. Good morning, Marty Kendrick, and I currently serve as a board member for the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. And I want to say that I'm thrilled about the new board appointments that were made by, our mayor and his leadership, and also our dedicated leaders on the Harris County Commissioners Court. As a public servant and a public steward of public funds, the board, I know, is committed to harnessing the breadth and the depth of our respective professional talent to ensure the successful management and maintenance of the Houston sports stadiums. Our aim is to work closely and to collaborate with the city, the county, the sports corporation, Houston First, the rodeo, and the vital stakeholders from our stellar sports teams to continue Houston's track record of excellence in hosting professional, collegiate, and professional events. The 2026 World Cup will serve as a remarkable opportunity for Houston to showcase its stadiums and capabilities as a host city and shine on the global front. With that being said, I would be remiss in not mentioning the great resources we have in John Arnold and Chris Canetti in leading the World Cup effort. I'm excited about the direction and the future of this organization, and we look forward to achieving tremendous success together in the realm of sports and community engagement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your public service. Obviously, talking about the soccer event Sunday afternoon, two of Mexico's top teams. We're so fortunate to have it here. And I just couldn't finish without recognizing Laura Murillo, President, Chair of the Hispanic Chamber, with the demographics of Houston. As I told the owner of the Dynamo yesterday, get ready. All we need to do is get some soccer balls out into our neighborhoods. You don't need a big ball field. You don't need a basketball court. You need a ball. But exciting future that the Hispanic community is providing. They contribute so much to our success in every asset of our community. So, Laura, if you would, I would call on you to talk about how important all of our future events are and to be inclusive of all of our communities.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Laura Murillo. I'm appointee of the City of Houston to the Sports Authority Board. And as I like to say, as go Hispanics, so goes Houston. You cannot mention the word soccer without acknowledging whether it's the rodeo, NRG Stadium, the Astros, the Texans, the large percentage of Latinos that are in those seats, purchasing and making sure that the revenue is coming through. And I stand here to say that we are committed to deliver a world-class international World Cup. We are appreciative of everyone who's going to step forward so that we can work as one to collaborate and make sure that Houston's diversity is embraced. And from our perspective, this is an economic imperative, and we should see the benefits, the financial and economic impact that this city and our business owners merit. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you for your leadership. Well, we're focusing on soccer. We've talked about the rodeo. The Texans are providing soccer in their venue. Robert Woods, I was watching you as a young state representative run back kicks. I'll be glad to yield to you. But thank you for what you do for the juvenile second chance justice system. He's got a residential facility in the middle of my Senate district and really saves lives. But I'll be glad to yield to you. You're fine. Well, keep up the good work. And there again, that's what makes Houston great. No one knows what you're doing on Pinemont to save young people's lives. As Dr. Murillo pointed out, Houston's future is going to be Hispanic, all of our respective communities, but the growth of the Hispanic community, we've got to make certain that no one's left behind. That's why we're going to do work in the Gulfton area. That's why we're going to bring everybody to the table. And along those lines, I'm going to ask Commissioner Garcia if he would translate for our neighbors that are concerned about the future of soccer in this great city.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Well, then let me begin on the occasion to say gracias, Alcalde Whitmire, por su liderazgo. Nos ha unido aquí para hablar del futuro del Harris County Houston, City Houston Sports Authority y el liderazgo que tenemos en esa Cámara. Es importante que cuando estamos hablando del juego mundial, que hay que reconocer que aunque Houston ha llegado a ser huésped del Super Bowl, los World Series, los campeonatos del Houston Dynamo y otros eventos como el rodeo y muchos más, Final Four, los varios juegos, que en esos juegos las audiencias se llegan a medir en los millones. Pero cuando estamos hablando de la Copa Mundial, la audiencia de ese juego se llega a medir en los billones. Entonces, es sumamente importante que todos nosotros llegamos a trabajar juntos para asegurar que vamos a presentar al mundo el mejor juego mundial. Entonces, por eso es importante de tener el mejor liderazgo en la Cámara del Harris County Houston Sports Authority, y le queremos dar las gracias al oficial ejecutivo de esa Cámara, pero esa persona ya ha tenido casi 20 años en ese puesto. Entonces, ahorita es importante, y como ha hablado el alcalde Whitmire, que es muy importante de tener una voz, un perspectivo fresco para asegurar que vamos a presentar el mejor juego a todo el mundo y asegurar que los millones de personas que van a venir a Houston, que van a ver Houston por la televisión, que van a ver la ciudad que le da la bienvenida a todos. Entonces, esta es una oportunidad de asegurar que los que nos lleguen a visitar pueden llegar a ser nuevos residentes, que las personas que nos llegan a visitar posiblemente pueden ser nuevos empresarios aquí en nuestra región. Entonces, esta oportunidad es muy importante y hay que asegurar que estamos trabajando juntos con el Houston Texans, con el Rodeo, con los Astros, para asegurar que todos los estadios lleguen a estar listos y preparados para impresionar a todo el mundo que va a venir a visitar. Entonces, nuevamente le damos las gracias al alcalde Whitmire por su liderazgo, y queremos trabajar juntos. Y que también quiero mencionar que estoy aquí como uno de los miembros de la Cámara Ejecutiva del Condado, pero también quiero reconocer el trabajo de la comisionada Leslie Briones, el comisionado Tom Ramsey y los demás, que también estamos aquí junto con el alcalde para asegurar que Houston y el condado de Harris va a poner una cara bonita y impresionante para todo el mundo en este evento. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for mentioning that Commissioner Briones and Ramsey are our full partners in this effort to focus solely on the success of the World Cup. And if there's any organization that I have not called on that would like to say something, I think just being here today and what we've covered shows the collaboration. You know, collaboration has been very successful throughout my career. I went to Austin last Friday, told the governor that we had to have help for the debris pickup, and then we got $50 million for our debris pickup. So every day I see the benefits of people working together and not worrying about who's going to get the credit. But now we're going to leave here solely focused on the World Cup. As we do that, we're going to work with every organization to see that the Sports Authority finances, builds, and maintains our sports venues, and not to mention how valuable the Rodeo Association is. We will address their concerns. We're already contemplating legislation. We created the Entertainment District last session. It's really already working. We're going to rebuild or kick the south. Go look at George Brown. He won't look like that in a year. We're going to expand that, new additional hotel. We have an entertainment district in 3 miles in every direction, coming from hotel occupancy tax. The state partnered by allowing us to capture the hotel occupancy tax for 3 miles. We're going to expand that, is our proposal next session, to assist with every venue that is represented here today. I'm excited about also that legislation downtown, building a stronger central Houston. All great cities have a central district that people want to go to, so it will be an entertainment district. We'll get public safety, more prevalent coverage. I rode with the chief 2 Saturday nights ago. Too much noise on Saturday night. Four Seasons residents are complaining that the noise is too great. We're going to make Houston quality of life what we all expect. So with that said, I'll answer any questions, but I'm ready to go to work, as I know my colleagues are.
Mayor, has Ms. Burke submitted any sort of formal resignation from her
Beg your pardon? You know, that's a decision for the board, and so I think they have a meeting this afternoon. I'll leave that to the board. I haven't been given notification of that.
And I know it's customary for a new administration to come in and basically pick their people, but you do have reports coming out that this may have been a political decision. How do you respond?
Well, that's, you remember I said I built the stadiums in '98? I had a vision then, and I have a vision now. I don't have time for politics. I absolutely do not get involved in the politics of my decision. This concern was brought to me first by John Arnold, who I so respect, so successful, worked with him in criminal justice reform. He really cares about this community. I wish he'd be here, and he'll be available going forward. But no, no time or room for politics in this reorganization and this vision of what the World Cup will be.
Mayor, there are multiple big sporting events that are going to take place here before the World Cup, 2025 Gold Cup, the 2026 World Baseball Classic. How is this shift with the sports authority going to affect preparation?
We're not going to miss a beat. You'll see the leadership that's going to be in place. Look at the outstanding board, the two new additions. This is nothing but to prepare for the World Cup. In the meantime, the other venues, organizations, the Astros, you think they don't work around the clock with city and county officials to get ready for that World Classic? But what we have to do is focus on the results, and we're going to get them. I wouldn't be standing before you if I didn't believe in our mission statement. Finance them, build them, and maintain them. People will leave here impressed.
With the refocus of the Sports Authority, who is going to oversee and lead the sports marketing efforts here in the city?
I think it'd be a collaborative effort. We do a lot of it out of City Hall. Obviously, you've heard from Houston First. They're actively preparing for events. You know, how about the Republican National Convention in 28? We've got to get our infrastructure ready, our public safety ready, sidewalks, lighting downtown. We're working with Central Houston. So remember I started out earlier. I know what makes this city great. I work on challenges every day, and at the end of the day, I realize it's not just city government that's making a difference. In fact, city government has real challenges, financial, understaffed departments. I'm working on that. But quietly, whether it's the Med Center, the port, our sports venue, the rodeo, they're so popular they have to continue to expand their events, the calendar. People want to come here. Now, let me tell you what the challenge is. Anybody want to guess how many people live in the suburbs that come to Houston every day to work? 700,000. My job is to work with city government and my partners at the county. We want people to not only come to Houston, you know that's the size of Atlanta, comes to Houston each day. We have to provide their safety, their health care, their airport. I can go on and on. But quietly going about making this a great city, or our philanthropic community, our faith community, these fine organizations. So, hey, I'm fired up. As soon as y'all get out of here, I'm going to go back to work.
And with the expected decision later this afternoon, how quickly are you going to appoint a successor?
That'd be strictly the board. I've appointed such capable people, talented people, fair people. So, you know, I'm in contact with them, but it's not my division. I got to go back and talk about public safety. I'm so pleased to see the Homeland Security Director here. That is part of our safety, having a successful, safe event. Metro would be here, but they're in a meeting. We got to make our transit system safe and clean that people want to use. So we got a lot of work to do, and that's why I called this group together today to let Houstonians know all hands on deck. Public safety, infrastructure, transit, and the best venues that we can provide for the World Cup. Remember I started a while ago, I said the Dynamo's got a facility over there they want to share, but there hasn't been planning in that direction. So I'm excited. As we work on other projects, this is one of our top priorities, and I will put put it in the hands of a very capable board. Transparency. Obviously, that's been one of the challenges. You try to learn more about previous decisions, current decisions, and it's hard to get the information you need.
Mayor,
But that'll be fixed.
how do you assure the public that, you won't find yourself in a situation again, these issues will be addressed going forward?
What are you talking about? We're in good shape right now.
Yeah, as far as like just being successful as a sports,
Everybody standing behind me runs one heck of a successful organization. Profitable, invite people, inclusive. I mean, I'm not going to call them out. You've seen them. They're all important and have a proven record. If we can get city services half as good as these organizations represented here today, nothing can hold Houston back. We all look forward to going to every one of the venues, but we don't look forward to going down the streets with the infrastructure in the shape it's in. We worry about flooding. So let us all come together, make city services, infrastructure what it should be, public service, public safety. If we can get city operating at the level and success of these organizations, which are going to be on the board, nothing can hold us back. We'll be ready to become the third largest city in America. Thank y'all. I got to go to work. Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.